Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of This Could Get Weird. I am Adam Stone,
I'm Adam Blocher.
and Adam Blocher is short of a few follicles right now, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
I lost the whole damn bag.
Shaved his entire head. He looks like Hugo Strange. He's just, he just needs to be a mustache short, and yeah.
And why would I shave my entire head, you ask?
Yeah, why the hell did you do it?
Felt like it. There was a sharp turn in my cosmic energy that said, you know what, I need some change.
Uh-huh.
And change I did.
Yeah, it's a hell of a change.
Funny thing is, for like the next hour after I had my haircut, I wanted to do stuff that was like just really manly.
Shaving your head made you want to be manly?
For like an hour.
How the fuck does that work?
I don't know.
It's like, did you want to go to, like, be a lumberjack or something?
I don't know, I just want to do like heavy lifting, punch shit, I don't know.
Go chop down a tree?
Yeah, karate chop down a tree.
I don't buy it. I mean, doing it for the hell of it, that's one thing. But then afterwards, you're like, I want to be a man. Yeah, I don't know. I want to go do manly things. Usually, guys say that after chugging an entire beer, which I don't get because I'm not a beer guy myself. But, that's just me. So, just for the hell of it, huh? Nothing special, nothing like you didn't lose a bet or anything?
Nope.
Huh. Did you do it yourself or
As the internet would say, for the shits and giggles.
for the lulls?
Mm-hmm.
So did you do it yourself or did you have somebody do it?
Oh, I had somebody do it. I do not trust a razor in my hand.
You don't need to do it with a razor.
Well, you know what I mean.
I mean, how do you usually shave when you did shave, like your face?
I didn't.
Well, I mean, when you shaved your face, I mean, I've seen you without fur on your face.
You know nothing?
Yes, I've seen you without a beard before. How'd you do it?
Basic trimmer.
Oh, just electric clippers? Well, you could have just done that on yourself. I mean, how much did you pay for it?
$10.
$10 to get your head shaved.
Yeah.
Really?
And I had a pretty nice conversation with the stylist, too.
The purpose of her being called a stylist goes out the window the second you shave your head. There's no style to it. It's just hair goes away.
Poof.
Gone. Wow. $10 just to get your head shaved. You could have done it yourself with a pair of clippers. Are you going to stick with it?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I'm really liking it, and apparently it makes me look awesome. Says everybody.
I'm indifferent on it, so, I mean, that's your
Well,
prerogative.
you Oklahoma people don't count. Everyone in Texas says it makes
Hey. What do you mean, us Oklahoma people?
Hey, you Okies.
Us Okies? Oh, okay.
You knew me when I had hair.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, if it,
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, because I was already kind of like the top of the totem pole, but when I went bald, it just kind of skyrocketed a bit more.
Oh, dear God, really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Ooh.
I think we get Elijah on the phone and be like, all right, dude, we got to make a trip to Texas. Knock this guy down a few pegs. Yeah, last week I had food poisoning again. And I think it was from one of those, not the Marie Colander, the Bertolli little steamer dinner things.
Really?
I think it was from one of those because, like last week, we were supposed to do a pod, but things kind of fell through. And like last minute, we were supposed to do it last Wednesday, and a bunch of friends were like, "Hey, this is our yearly get together. We need to go to dinner." And I'm like, "What time will we be done?" And they were like, "Well, I don't know." I'm like, "Fuck." So that's why I rescheduled for the next day.
Gotcha.
And at first, I thought it was from that, because we went to this place. You ever heard of it called Twin Peaks?
Yeah.
Yeah. We went there, and
When I moved back in here, I found a mouse pad from Twin Peaks in my closet. I'm like, I've never been there. How the fuck did that get there?
huh. No, I mean, this is my first time being there, and for those of you who've never been there, it's basically kind of
Is it like a fancier version of Hooters or a poorer version of Hooters?
it's a fancier version, I guess you could say. It's like Hooters on steroids, because everybody there is more or less, instead of wearing push-up bras, yeah, it's Hooters on steroids, because the augmentation is actually there rather than just a push-up bra, and plus they're a little more scanty, because normally they're supposed to be dressed like lumberjacks,
Uh,
because they have the short shorts and like the little plaid or I just lost the word for it, the mini flannel shirts on. But this was a special occasion because it was like a couple of days before Valentine's Day, so they're all walking around in negligee. Yeah, and at first, I was thinking, oh, this is going to be awesome. And then the thought occurred to me. Half these chicks were just starting kindergarten when I was graduating high school.
oh, really? They're that young?
They looked that young.
Wow.
I was like, oh my God. I mean, I felt like,
Somebody's a cradle robber.
no, if I were a cradle robber, I'd be like, hell yeah. But no, I was like, I really wasn't like, I was like, oh my God.
You just walk up to one, like put your hands on her shoulders and go, why do you make me feel so old?
I felt like doing that, dude, because there's people taking pictures with them all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And it was funny because there's little kids running around there.
Really?
Yeah, people take their kids to these. I mean, I've seen people take kids to Hooters.
Wow.
I mean, that's one thing. I mean, they wear like, of course, they have like orange short shorts, but they also have like on nylons underneath. This place is, skin out. And it occurred to me too that, I mean, I've seen, women with tattoos all over them lately, but I'd never seen it like up close and personal. And there's a lot of chicks out there with tattoos everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like, I mean, I'm not
Tattoos
against
are
it.
getting like a huge thing nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against it. I mean, if you want to do it and you feel like you need to, just go ahead and do it. But, I mean, just don't be like everybody else. Get it because this chick has it.
I got you.
But that's what I did, because at first that's where I thought I got the food poisoning. But everybody else that ate there didn't have food poisoning. Though my friend Brock, he got food poisoning just after I did, but he got his, I think, from Taco Bell. It was because I had a Thursday, Friday off, and that's how I spent my Thursday, Friday, sick as a dog. It was bullshit. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I was just very intent upon your story.
Oh, okay. Well, fine. Yeah, I guess I'm a good orator.
Like I've told you before, you have a really good radio voice, man.
I do, and the way I've got the mic set up, it's instead of being like 30 feet from it, I sound really cool right now. Yeah, that's how I spent my week. Was sick, and then like Monday I had that night off and relaxed this entire week. Watched some Sherlock. Did some writing, and got one centered, as you can say. Because you can never be too centered.
True.
Especially with the place that we work at. Which,
Yeah, speaking of work,
oh yeah?
like I sent you that text earlier today, I finished my entire shift within just 4 hours.
Uh-huh.
And I was doing two people's jobs.
I wish I had that problem.
So I had to find a way to kill 5 hours of work.
So what'd you do?
I went up to managers and I worked with them.
Yeah,
Making
you work
them
with
think I'm pretty
managers?
awesome.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
Really well. All the managers on the grocery side at least think I'm really awesome. So top of the totem pole there too.
Huh. This is weird. This is bizarro world down there, man. The up is down, left is right. Dogs and cats are usually get together. Man. It must be nice living in bizarro world.
Well, shit, man, I'm the top dog.
Yep. Elijah, if you're out there listening, we gotta fix this. We gotta take care of this right here, right now.
Don't do it, man.
Yeah, knock you down a peg or two.
Don't do it.
But, yeah, other than that, yeah, I've just been taking it easy.
That's good.
Yeah, I got an investigation coming up next month, beginning of March. Hopefully I get off for it. Yeah, it seems that, paranormal research is coming back to somewhat legitimacy.
And not so much as just being laughed at.
Yeah, I mean, there used to be courses in colleges for parapsychology, but I don't think a lot of schools offer that anymore. It's been kind of cut out, and it's real hard to obtain, or at least try to lean towards those type of doctorates. But yeah, it's University of Virginia actually has a paranormal activity lab now, according to this article from The Atlantic. It says the market for stories for Paranormal Academy is a rich one. There's Heidi Julevitz's widely acclaimed 2012 novel The Vanishers, which takes place at a New England college for aspiring Sylvia Browns. And, of course, there's Professor X's School for Gifted Youngsters, Marvel's take on Andover or Choate, where... What? Were you laughing? Oh, I thought you were laughing. I was like, well, what? Choate's a funny word?
Well, it kind of is.
Choate's like, it's above Ivy League.
Oh, is it?
It's a very private school, yeah.
Well, that's why I think it's funny. Too rich for my taste.
Yeah, it's true. But, it's...
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're all right. But, about the Division of Perpetual Studies, DOPS, at the University of Virginia School of Medicine is decidedly less fantastic than either Julevitz or Marvel's creations, but it's nevertheless a fascinating place. Founded in 1967 by Dr. Ian Stevenson, originally as the Division of Personality Studies, its mission is the scientific, empirical investigation of phenomena that suggest the currently accepted scientific assumptions and theories about the nature of mind or consciousness and its relation to matter may be incomplete. Which sorts of phenomena qualify? Largely your typical catalog of Fuerte. ESP, poltergeist, near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences, claimed memories of past lives. So yes, in 2014, there is a Center for Paranormal Research at a totally legitimate and respected American institution of higher learning. But unlike the X-Mansion or other fictional sci schools, DOPS doesn't employ any practicing psychics. The teachers can't read minds, and the students don't walk through walls. DOPS is home to a small group of hardworking, impressively credentialed scientists with minds for stats and figures. I mean, it's pretty much still like a comic book. But it also gives legitimacy to paranormal field, if you think about it.
Yeah. But it's kind of funny how they don't really say it's the paranormal field. They kind of dance around it, giving it other terms.
Right, right. I mean, it's not out in the open, not like right up in the, right out in the grill saying, yeah, we study ghosts and other psychic phenomena.
All I know is I wouldn't go there because they don't have psychic teachers. And they don't have people that walk through walls, so I have no need to go there.
Why not?
I want psychic teachers and people that can walk through walls. That would be an amazing school to go to.
Yeah, that's true, but at the same time, think about it. I think it's badass.
Well, it is badass, yeah. Something I'll never be able to do because it's so fucking expensive with its hoity-toity schools.
Yeah, this isn't exactly an Ivy League school, though. I mean, it's a high-end school, but not like an Ivy League school. Your chances are better of getting into this one than, somewhere like, MIT or something.
Really?
Yeah, you think about it. You're going to school, what, this spring or fall?
It might be this fall.
Okay.
Might have to push it back some, though.
And think about the field you're getting into. You're getting into...
No fucking clue.
Oh, I thought you were going to get into, not psychiatry, but, what's the other word for it? Damn.
Social worker?
Yeah, essentially. I mean, that's kind of on the same path.
Yeah.
It's psychiatric care.
True.
It's almost the same field. I mean, right here it says Tucker, who is a certified child psychiatrist, primarily works with children who have reported memories that are not of their own, oftentimes linked to real-life individuals who lived decades in the past and thousands of miles away. To Tucker, these findings suggest the plausibility of paranormal personality after death. Something like a law of conservation of energy applied to human subconscious reincarnation to the lay person. So it's, yeah. It's psychology.
More or less.
Yeah. He says the main effort is to document as carefully as possible what the child says and determine how well that matches with a deceased person. And in the strongest cases, those similarities can be quite compelling. Excuse me. I think it's neat.
That is pretty cool.
It gives legitimacy back to the paranormal field because it's been so bombarded with fakery and crap, and everybody, turns their noses up because of the TV shows, and the TV shows are there for entertainment. I mean, you can't necessarily look at those shows as primarily being genuine research. You just can't. No matter how hard they want to tell you it is, it always isn't. I mean, it's, if it were real...
I will say, though, that one good thing that the TV shows have done is increase the, the interest or group of paranormal hunting and research. So it's made it a bit easier to kind of bring its way back into the world.
Yeah, it's...
So the TV shows have helped, but they're not...
It's helped, but it's also hurt the credibility because,
Yeah.
anybody that's just now getting into the field is due to those shows.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they're a pocket demonologist, even though they're about 19 years old. And from what I understand, true demonology takes
years
of research. The only one that,
if not, like, close to a freaking lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, I'll throw a name out there. John Zaffis. He's the nephew of Ed and Lorraine Warren. You know those names.
Yeah.
He's like the nephew to them, and, he's seen some shit.
Yeah.
And I consider him, a demonologist.
Mm.
But on the flip side, you've got Dr. Barry Taft. And he's a genuine, as far as the science side of it, that's his end of it.
Yeah.
So he's had years of studying the actual environmental effects of what affects these things.
You know what I think is kind of cool that I just realized about the whole paranormal stuff? It's one of the few, if not only, areas where both a scientist and a religious man can work together to figure something out.
That is an interesting point because
I just realized that.
Yeah, because it does involve both spectrums.
You need the science to, like, find them and all that shit. And if it's, let's say, if it was a possession of, like, a demon, then you get the religious to fix it.
Yeah.
Who knew we could get those two to work together?
There you go. They're working together. See, what was that debate? What was that? It was Bill Nye and the other cat. They had a live debate.
Was it about the creationism in school?
Yes, it was. It was creationism versus the Bible and all, or creationism versus evolution. It was that debate. I can't remember the other guy's name off the top of my head.
Yeah, Bill Nye was saying that creationism should be taken out of school because it's hindering the minds of our young ones.
Right. But it was Ken Ham. It was a live debate they had.
And the other guy didn't approve, so he just kept, saying, like Bible stuff, God this and God that, whereas Bill Nye kept throwing fact after fact after fact.
Well, it's like, from Ken Ham's point of view is, if you can prove it to him, if he were proved wrong, he would still believe it one way. Where Bill Nye says, if you can prove it to me, then I'll believe it.
Yeah.
Where he was using facts.
And Bill Nye's making a big comeback in the world now.
He's always been around. He's just, internet.
Yeah.
Bill Nye is awesome. But continuing on...
the original man with the bow tie, besides these Doctor Who people.
Hey, no.
Bill Nye wore it first, and he wore it better.
Yeah, but, Doctor even says bow ties are cool. He never, said anything against them.
I know.
I'm sure if Bill Nye met the Doctor, they would get along just fine.
I'm sure they would. That would be an interesting episode.
Yeah. And then throw in Stephen Hawking just for the hell of it, just to, pop brains everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody would be like, oh my God. And then, I can't remember the actor's name from the song Blinded by Science. I think he's dead, though, but he just runs in, Science! Says adopts affiliated doctors and scientists have reviewed and analyzed thousands of cases. Before his retirement in 2002 and after death in 2007, Dr. Ian Stevenson logged more than 2,500 cases, publishing his analysis in a number of scholarly texts from 1969 to onward. Today, DOPS inputs findings and patient profiles from an electronic database from which analysts can discern patterns that might explain why certain individuals are susceptible to believing they possess memories from past lives. Yeah, because earlier I skipped over that part of the article. But they were talking about it was a case of a past life. It was a Louisiana boy who reported memories of flying a fighter jet in World War II at around age 2. James experienced terrible nightmares almost nightly of violent plane crashes during the day. He relayed extremely vivid memories of this supposed Air Force career. He recalled the name of a real aircraft carrier stationed in the Pacific during World War II, Natoma. He claimed to have a friend on the boat named Jack Larson. He had memory of being shot down by the Japanese and dying near Iwo Jima. The USS Natoma Bay lost only one pilot at Iwo Jima, a man named James Houston, and he had died in a crash that matched Leininger's description almost exactly. He hit in the engine, exploding into fire, crashing into the water, and quickly sinking, Tucker said. And when that happened, the pilot of the plane next to his was Jack Larson.
Spooky.
I know, isn't that crazy? That's just like one of the...
Yeah, that goes to kind of, I guess, help promote my idea of reincarnation, that it can have some shit like that going on.
I know, it's like, how did this child know about all this?
Maybe he was the actual fighter.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, it's bizarre, but that right there, boom.
It makes sense to me simply because I believe in the whole reincarnation thing of the energies passing into somebody new. So that's all good for me, but most people would think it's just weird.
Yeah. Just way, way out there. But they got some legitimacy to this place, though. It's like Stevenson's contemporaries have their legitimate allies, too. Max Planck, the father of quantum physics, saw merit in the possibility of a physical realm derived from the non-physical consciousness. In the 1995 book, The Demon Hunted World, astrophysicist Carl Sagan, a known advocate of scientific skepticism, said that the phenomenon of children reporting details of a previous life, which upon checking turn out to be accurate and which they could not have known about in any other way than reincarnation, is an area of parapsychological research deriving of serious study. And Carl Sagan says, man, we need to look into this maybe. You got something. Yeah, Dobbs, University of Virginia. You're doing, well, maybe you are doing the Lord's work.
You never know. If they do research into the brain more, they might learn how to unlock more hidden potential of the human brain.
I know, right?
This could be the stepping stool to the greater brain knowledge of the mankind.
Yeah, maybe. You never know.
It's true.
Pretty darn cool, I do say so myself. But, yeah, maybe we can, tap into the mind of a killer.
Oh.
Which, that segues us to our next story, courtesy of you.
Of me.
Yes.
My topic it's titled, Real Life Dexter, 19, reveals she had favorite knife and added a notch to it every time she killed as she pleads to be spared death penalty. My source is from Mail Online News. Says Miranda Barber says she committed up to 100 murders in her short life.
Murders.
Murders. You gotta add a little tang to that. But she claims in legal documents filed by her lawyer that she should not be put to death because execution is a cruel and inhumane punishment.
Sure, yeah, all those 100 murders that you claimed you've done, yeah, those are cruel and inhumane.
Her public defender also said she shouldn't be executed because there's no evidence she tortured the man she accused of luring to his death with a Craigslist ad.
Goddamn Craigslist.
Yeah. The Satan-worshipping teen said she adopted a murderous alter ego, Super Miranda, when she killed and kept a favorite knife that she used to keep count of her victims. Like the fictitious serial killer Dexter, Barber said she only killed those who abused children or owed money. She reportedly said Satanism controlled her murderous rages.
Satan?
Makes you wonder, though, if she is killing people through Craigslist, how would she know if they owe money or abuse children? Does she just do, like, incredible research on the people, or pick and choose?
I think it's where the whole Dexter angle comes in.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, because, I don't know, it didn't really say if she did too much of the, research, but it says the Dexter thing is simply because, she's going after the quote-unquote bad people.
Right. Yeah, but people who owe money aren't necessarily bad. They're just bad at their finances. I mean, child abusers, yeah, fuck them up all you want. But
Yeah.
I owe money. I don't want to die. Yeah, but she says, I don't want to be put to death. Don't kill me. That was her and her, she had a 22-year-old husband as well.
Huh.
Yeah, he was, it says here, yeah, it's like that shows the pictures as natural born killers, referring to the movie. Miranda Barber left at 19. She's age 19, and her 22-year-old husband, Elite
Whoa.
Yeah, spelled Elytte.
No, no, I just got to a weird part of the article.
Oh yeah, read away.
Alright, it's, I'm assuming this is an old roommate. Scarella told TMZ he spoke with an ex-roommate of Barbara's who said that the abused teen possessed 2 vials of semen belonging to her husband and that she used them to masturbate in a satanic ritual.
Whoa.
Yeah. In an interview given from prison and published on Saturday by the Daily Item in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, Barbara was quoted admitting she participated in at least 22 killings in the past 6 years in Alaska, Texas, North Carolina, and California.
She's busy. Yeah, she's been keeping herself occupied.
Some crazy people.
The hell goes into a satanic ritual that involves jizz and masturbation? I mean,
none that I've heard of.
I don't know many Satanists out there that would.
I have done research and none that I have heard of yet.
No, I mean it's mind-boggling, isn't it?
Yeah, crazy people.
Crazy people, crazy times. I mean, shit. You owe anybody money?
Nope.
You owe anything money?
No. Besides my monthly bills, I owe nobody money.
Yeah, well, that's still counted as owing money, so you better watch out. He's a weird-looking dude. I mean, she ain't a bad-looking gal. Yeah, he's got that weird Satanist look to him, though.
According to a jailhouse interview, she joined a satanic sect as a young girl in the town, which is in the Fairbanks North Star borough of Alaska and has a population of 2210.
Ooh, small town. This reminds me of something I heard on radio a couple of months back. It was a murder case up in Canada, of all places, but it involved this young teen wound up murdering her entire family because she wanted to be with her 200-year-old vampire boyfriend. And she did it out of love for him. Yeah. And they wouldn't name her in the case because she's actually still alive today, out of jail, and living in obscurity, going to college and stuff. She was, like, really young, like about 13 or 14
Yeah.
when this happened. And he was, like, 22 years old in actuality. But he claimed to be, like, a 200-year-old vampire.
Huh.
Yeah. But she wound up doing the killings, and he witnessed, or he might have assisted in some way. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, it was pretty brutal. Even for Canada, you know, not a lot of shit like that happens up there. Whoa, what's that?
What's what?
There's a really nasty buzzing. But, yeah, I don't know. That shit don't happen in Canada. That shit don't fly up here, eh?
It just, I don't know how people can come out like this.
I don't either. It's weird. Because, just one day, you're just a normal person, then, you get into some crap like Satanism. Which, from what I heard, it's not even anything about... I don't know, I've heard too much crap. I mean, if you look at religion in any way, shape, or form, it's all fucked up.
From what I found from my research into Satanism, all it is really look out for number one, do whatever makes you feel happy as long as you don't really fuck with anybody else.
Right.
That's their main core from what I could find.
Yeah.
I think the only reason why they put that she's a Satanist in the article is because most people don't know about that part of religion, because most people are, the Christian or the Catholic and all that shit. So if you put Satanist in the article, like, people are like, oh my god, devil worshiper.
Uh-huh.
Like, burn the witch.
It's the devil. The devil isn't that crazy girl. She's just a psychopath. I mean, she's of age, too, so she's gone.
Oh, yeah.
Does it say if she was sentenced or not? Doesn't even say if she was sentenced yet. Yeah, it just says last week.
It says she's in jail right now.
Yeah, she's waiting
But
sentencing.
Yeah, she said in the interview that she doesn't want to get out of jail and that she would kill again if she was released.
So fucking killer. I don't know what's your stand on on the death penalty in general.
It should be sped up.
Oh yeah?
Uh-huh. Line's too long. Do it now. But maybe that's just the Texan in me.
Yeah. See, I'm for it. I mean, especially if the evidence says so. I mean, it sucks now because ever since that dumbass lady a few years ago who screwed up on a bunch of DNA tests.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to tell anymore. Because of that, there's always reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
Well, my take on it is if they're guilty, they're fucking guilty of it. And if they're on tape, or 30,000 witnesses, witnessed them, beheading somebody in public, and they've got it on video, they've got audio, they got DNA, they got everything. Yeah, kill the fucker. I don't want my taxes going to feeding that son of a bitch.
I've got a bit of a strict view on the whole justice system and all that shit. A lot of people have called me a dick because of my views, but I don't care. My view is if there is evidence that you murdered somebody, you should be put to death. No line, no wait, sit in the chair, dead.
Yeah.
And the whole crime thing, it's kind of a take on California's 3-chance law, where, on the 3rd chance you're put to jail for life. Mine, if you fuck up and get a 3rd one, go to the chair.
Done.
Because you're not going to change.
They have a 3-strike rule system.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really unfair, though.
It's like you get one thing on your record. Okay. 2 things. You better watch out. The moment you get your 3rd, here, have a seat.
What do you mean, like general criminals? Not like murder or anything?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though, because
3 strikes, you're out. Don't care. Don't care.
Well, what about, there's some people that are, in life in prison just for having, like, a little pinch of pot on them.
Well, it's because that's a stupid law of pot.
Yes.
But it also, if the penalty system of justice was more strict, people wouldn't do stuff like that was against the law as much. Like,
yes and no.
Sure, most of the states in America have pot that is illegalized. So what you want to do if you want to smoke pot, go to the fucking states that it's legal in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are rules out there. It's like the 3-strike system is out there, but they still don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, case in point, that kid in Texas who killed all those people drunk driving is getting his ass stuck in a freaking high-dollar rehab.
Yeah, because he was the rich kid and he didn't know how to take responsibility.
Yeah.
Shoot him.
Yeah, exactly.
In the face.
So his mom and daddy can't have an open casket. And the kid just sat there in the courtroom with no remorse, and then, the lawyer, of course, said he was, suffers from being, privileged and shit like that.
Right.
And all of a sudden, he's like,
So then what happens if, like, a poor person does a crime? Do they suffer from being underprivileged?
life in prison.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. It's like they've used that judgment as far as, he grew up in a broken home type deal.
Yeah.
And he didn't know any better. His whole, view was a life of crime. That's how he was raised, and those motherfuckers, normally don't get off.
Yeah. But one reason why our whole justice system will never be good is because prisons are run like a business. And what keeps the business going is prisoners.
Yeah, and the taxpayers' dollars keep going into the feeding them and housing them,
Uh-huh.
and no true rehabilitation. There's no rehabilitation anymore. It's just you get stuck in there, and you either become, predator or prey, because that breeds even more worse people.
Yeah.
An innocent.
Because when you come out, you've gone through the years of having to go through survival of the fittest, so you will come out harder and angrier.
Oh, yeah.
Because you've had to survive, worse shit.
Yeah. Literally watching your ass night and day. And being a part of, cliques and gangs. That's where, a lot of the, hardcore gangs mentality started.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're, walking around, they don't have anything to prove except, survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
And that's why, they nickname it Gladiator School. Because you go there to learn how to survive and, fuck each other up. Either kill or be killed type of environment. You live like that, so many years, it's kind of hard to, come out of that system without, having that mentality in your brain night and day.
Yeah.
So you make even worse people.
And it's the whole thing of, of people saying, well, if they go to jail, they'll learn their lesson, so when they come out, they won't go back in again. That's bullshit.
Yeah, especially with today's standards.
You want them to learn their lesson? Shoot them in the face. They won't do it again.
Or take a limb.
Mm.
Murder, yeah, boom, done, you're gone. But if
that's an example to everybody else.
But if you think about, I don't know if it's like that today, but over in the Arab states, they take people's fucking hands for stealing.
Oh, they still do.
Yeah. But, we live in a society over here in America where, no, don't do that.
Where people have to be on their fucking cushions all day long, or they get fucking butt hurt.
Yeah. I know you've never seen the movie Casino, but there's a scene in there. This is like in the 70s, 60s, and 70s when it took place, but they had this thing called Cheater's Justice where, they caught this guy and this other dude were running a scam on their tables, on their blackjack tables.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was a poker table. And one guy was sitting behind the dealer, and, the other guy was in front of the dealer, and he was, like, sneaking peeks at what, the dealer had. And he had, like, a little radio device where he'd send Morse code off of his leg. It was hidden inside of his jeans. He was sending it to the other guy, so the other guy knew what cards the dealer had.
Yeah.
And they were, cheating them dry, bleeding the place.
Mm-hmm.
And they ran this thing where they, send Mr. Happy loud, and they had like a happy birthday thing run right in the middle of them, really loud. And then like, one of the, they call them pit bosses. They watch over the dealers, come up behind the guy with a cattle prod, stuck him right up underneath the armpit.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, "Oh my God, this man's having a heart attack," and they dragged him off.
Hmm.
And his friend's like, "Oh shit!" So he's trying to cash out, and they got that guy in the back. And And they tell him, they pull out like this, I don't know if it was a sander or like a handsaw. And they're all like, all right, you want the hammer or the saw or something like that? Oh, no, he asks them, do you shift your cards with your left hand or your right hand? He goes, my right hand. And this guy comes out of nowhere with a ball-peen hammer and just starts smashing his hand.
Mm.
And oh, man, it was gruesome. And they pulled the other guy in. He's like, all right, you got two options. You can either get the hammer or you can take the money. He's like, I just want to leave. He's like, I'm sorry, I messed up. You goddamn right you messed up. Tell all your friends, don't do it around here.
Mm.
But, things like that. People would wake up if they commit a crime like that.
Yeah.
I don't believe in babying people that commit, heinous crimes.
Yeah.
I just don't believe that. I mean, shoplifting, yeah. I mean,
Don't do it.
kick them in the ass and say, stop that shit.
Can't shoplift if you don't have hands.
Right. No, but, coming back to this broad, yeah, she committed a fucking crime of so many hundreds of alleged killings, and she's guilty of this one. She's ready to be sentenced any day now. So, I mean, kill her. Send her to the chair. Be done with it. She can't be saved. Because, like you said, like it says in the article, you let her out, she'll do it again.
I think people should be killed on how they did to their victims.
Tortured and stabbed to death and buried alive?
Yep.
That would be her case.
That way they would know what they've done.
But according to her, that would be inhumane.
No.
No. It'll
Said,
be inhumane.
Execution is cruel and inhumane. Stabbing you multiple times and then burying you alive.
How are they gonna? What's her execution? What's the method of execution? Is it gonna be lethal injection or gas?
It would probably be injection.
Not necessarily inhumane, because they put you to sleep first. Oh, and they swab your arm with alcohol. That's always a must.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
So nice of them.
Oh yeah, you don't want them to get an infection. Even though I heard it was a few years ago and it was on NPR, it kind of creeped me out. But the stuff that they use to put you under, there's a fault to it.
Oh, yeah?
Because they use that same stuff for putting people under for certain type of surgeries, or surgeries in general, I think, because this lady was suing a hospital.
Oh, because she could still, she wasn't technically asleep. She could still feel everything.
Yeah.
Wasn't
well,
that
she saw her eye
surgery?
being... No, it was all... She was awake when they...
Yeah, it was, she went in for an eye surgery and she could feel the whole eye being pulled out and all that.
Yeah, she remembers, she knows the exact moment of when, because she could still see when they, cut her eye out.
Yeah.
She remembers it blacking out every little vivid detail and every last ounce of pain.
Yeah, that's gonna cause some mental problems.
Yeah, and they're saying, that's the same stuff that they use for lethal injection. The reason why they put you under is because it is an excruciating one, because they're shutting down every part of your body. So that's the debate right there is, how humane is lethal injection. Well, they're not going to freaking
Well, we
complain.
can always go back to what we used to do that was much quicker than lethal injection.
What's that?
One of my personal favorites, guillotine.
Huh. Yeah. Kind of, sort of, even though your brain is still active.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
Are you going to do Morse code something to somebody?
Yeah, maybe. It happened.
It was like Morse code, don't fucking do it.
That's how they figured that out back in those days. I'm going to get my head cut off.
Can
Watch
you
me
imagine
blink.
being the guy that they ask that? All right, we're going to chop your head off. And once your head stops rolling, I want to see if you can blink.
Uh-huh. Well, even then, I mean, the reason why the guillotine was stopped was because, it wasn't always a clean sweep.
That's why you got to make sure it's a sharp blade.
Yeah. Well, not just that, but, going through all that, going through the spine and the sinew and all that other stuff, it was, some people actually had bigger necks. And when it would hit, it would be like, thunk, oh, we just severed the spine, and they're screaming in agony. Oops. And then, there's Firing Squad, which I saw a video years ago. It was of...
How about this? We'll give them the Felix Baumgartner treatment with no parachute.
Send them out of a plane screaming?
Just put them up in the atmosphere and just give them a push.
Yeah. And wherever they land, that's where you buried.
That's a guaranteed death right there. No one's going to survive that. Even if you hit water, you're dead.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, a lot of people would die before they even hit the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Because
So
their heart explodes.
Let's say you were on... You were about to get executed and you had a last meal. What would your last meal be?
See, I've thought about that sometimes. And I'm not always 100% sure. I mean, I saw this one thing that was fascinating about a lot of people's last meals before being executed. And there's some interesting choices out there. Would you gorge yourself? What would you do?
I would have the extra grande, spicy burrito from Chipotle.
Uh-huh.
Because guess what happens after you die?
You shart yourself?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to leave a pretty mess for the people.
Yeah, only you.
It's like, what's the last meal? Give me those Taco Bell burritos, you motherfucker.
Steak and pasta, maybe. Meatballs made from steak.
Steak balls.
That's right. I don't know. Let's ask the audience. What would your last meal be if you knew you were going to die?
See, it's something like that. If I had an allergy to a certain food, let's say I had an extreme allergy to peanuts. It's like, what's your last meal? I'll take a PB&J sandwich.
Some people do that. Like Timothy McVeigh. He was, his last meal was just 2 pints of mint chocolate chip ice cream. That was it. Kept it simple. Yeah, leave it up to the people. What would you want for your last meal on this planet? Yeah, I think that'll wrap it up for this week. What about you?
I'd say we ended on a pretty good note.
Yeah, exactly. What would you want to eat when you died?
Hooray.
Yes. Fun for all. Ended on murder.
Murder.
Here, let's not end it on such a down note. Here, listen to this. It says, "Yo, mama so po." She got married for the rice. I just looked up random humor. No, but yeah. I have no way to end this podcast this week.
We're gonna end it on murder.
Ended on murder.
End it on murder. Don't
Yeah.
always have to end happy.
Ended on a down note.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, that sounds good.
We've ended everything else on a happy note. Fuck this one. This one's gonna be a Debbie Downer.
Yeah. Because we all know life is pain.
Life is pain.
Oh, real quick, have you seen that video that's gone viral of the kiss cam spot? Yeah, it's you know how they have games and like basketball games or
Yeah.
hockey games and stuff. They always have the kiss cam.
Yeah.
Well, they got this cam just focused on these two people, this guy and this
Yeah.
girl, and they're just kind of sitting there. Everybody's kind
Oh,
of
is it a guy in kind of a jacket and a blonde girl?
Yeah, and he's fiddling around in his pocket, and he pulls out a sign, and it's an arrow pointing to his left at the girl, and it says, "My sister."
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I think it would
Yeah,
have been...
because I remember the video starts and they both look at each other. She just kind of shakes her head, just starts laughing.
Right.
And he kind of looks at her, is like, it's one of those motions like, you gonna do it?
Yeah, it's like, this ain't happening. If I were the cameraman, I would have been creative and started tilting it down slowly and then start shaking it left and right. But that was hilarious. There's a note to end on. Don't kiss your sister.
In certain states.
Yeah. Or else, because that's actually frowned upon. I frowned upon.
In most states.
Yeah.
So instead of murder, you want to end the whole podcast on incest?
Sure, why not? Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I don't
Say
give a
no
damn
to
how
family.
hot. I don't give a damn how hot some people think their family members are. It's just not worth it.
Think of the future gene pool you're corrupting.
Totally, right? Stop that shit.
Well, on that note,
Yeah, on that note, we thank you everyone for listening on our incest ending podcast for this week. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. It's right below there when you scroll down and all. Yeah. So anyway, that'll do it for this week. This could get weird. I am Adam Stone.
I'm Adam Blocher.
Stay weird, everyone.